to K&K's Indie Gaming Corner. I'm your host, who is wide awake somehow on this wonderful Saturday morning that we're recording this. I'm Carrington, and my coffee-loving, chili-cooking, amazing mustache-looking co-host Kyle is here with us as well. How are you, Kyle?
I'm here. And yes, you nailed that intro. I love coffee. I cooked chili last night, and I have a mustache.
And I'm trying to hit all the highlights here. I'm trying to keep it upbeat and positive because we are here. We woke up at technically we were both awake at 5 a.m. and it is
Yes.
7 a.m. currently, so we are somehow awake. So I got to keep things
Rolling.
exactly.
Rolling. What are you drinking there?
I was drinking Dubby.
Ooh. Oh, you got it in the cup, too.
Yep. And this is just normal, good old fashioned water, my friend.
I wonder if we could ever get sponsored by water.
If water's looking for for someone to be sponsored, we would love to be sponsored by water because I drink it all day, every day. It is life's what's the word I'm
Water.
looking for? Yeah.
So, water, if your CEO is looking for someone to talk about you, KK's Indie Gaming Corner will do it.
I got nothing
Which
but
would-
great things to say about water.
Oh, we missed our chance on a perfect segue.
We did. Oh my gosh! Because guess what we're talking about today? We're talking about Dave the Diver, where we go into water.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, Dave the Diver from I don't have my notes in front of me, unfortunately. I know.
MINTROCKET.
Thank you. From who is it? MINTROCKET. Thank you. Yeah, from
MINTROCKET.
Which the opening credits, I didn't know they were mostly a Korean dev because a lot of the names that were popping up were all Korean names. So I thought that was just cool and interesting.
Fun fact.
I don't know if they were. I did not look to see if they were based in Korea, and they are based in South Korea. So shout out to them. They made a fantastic game because you know why?
Why?
Story riveting, gameplay loop addicting, animation glorious.
Did you come up with that off the top of your head?
I did.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah, my brain is just firing on all cylinders right now after I had Dubby.
And our new sponsor, water.
And our new sponsor, water.
It's funny because
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We have chatted about this before.
I was gonna say, I know we've talked about this before because you've played it. I haven't.
And
so if you're wondering what my thoughts are live, that's what I'm playing currently on Twitch at twitch.tv/KKIndieGaming.
You think you'll play it this weekend again?
Yes, probably not today, but definitely tomorrow.
Okay. Last week, was it last week? No, week. I don't know. Last episode, I'll say that. Last episode, we talked about Dave the Diver releasing on the Nintendo Switch, which we'll touch on that here shortly. Not that any of us have played it on the Switch, but just our thoughts on it being on the Switch. And I was like, dude, you need to play the game. Dude, you need to play the game. Dude. And you texted me and you said, I got Dave the Diver. So,
yes.
I can tell by your initial reaction that you're excited about the game. I think it is contender for a game of the year. I think that it definitely is a incredible hidden gem that is slowly getting more and more heard about. And I think once it releases on Switch, a lot of people it'll gain a lot more exposure as well. But initial reaction, initial thoughts, initial feelings about Dave the Diver.
So I don't know how many chapters there are. So I'm currently in chapter 3 or 4 currently. So I think I would, if I were to guess, I'd say I'm roughly halfway through the game right now, which surprises me because for an indie game, it's got some. You're not gonna finish this in 3 or 4 hours, is what I'm getting at. Because I have 3 to 4 hours in it right now. and I have not beaten it yet. What?
You, no, no, you're
Yeah, okay.
you're not gonna finish it in 10 hours.
I believe that. I believe that
Yeah.
because I've noticed the chapters vary in length also. Because chapter one was
Mm-hmm.
pretty long. It was a pretty long chapter.
Dang it had the tutorial within it too.
Yep, it did. So, and I'm still like unlocking things, and this game is still
Mm-hmm.
teaching me things, and I'm like pretty deep into it at this point. Like I said, I think I'm roughly halfway through it, and on my phone in the game, there's still two apps I have yet to
Right.
unlock. And I'm like, what else could it show me? Because there's already weapons, there's upgrading weapons,
Mm-hmm.
there's a social media thing. That's how you
Which is
upgrade the
cool.
restaurant, which is really cool,
Yeah.
and I do like it.
Yeah.
This, which is also how you like upgrade the restaurant. There's collectibles. There's small like I don't know what you would call like cleaning up the ocean, like what that you would call that, but here's a clean up the ocean. You just get a
Right.
wristband. Like that's just a thing that's in the game.
Yeah.
And that's not even half of the apps that's on your phone. That's just like three or four. There's way more than that. Like you imagine your standard cell phone and how many apps fit on one screen before you have to go to the next page. That's how many apps are in the game on the
Mm-hmm.
phone.
That are all functional.
All functional, fully
Yeah.
functional within the game. Yep. And there's still two I've yet to unlock, and I'm just like, what else can this game show me that I already haven't seen? And I've already just unlocked. I don't want to put any spoilers, but I unlocked a fast travel system within the game. That's not on the phone, so that's not an app I
Right.
unlocked on the phone. It's just boom, I unlocked the thing.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
much to look into.
I feel like that is just, I mean, that is just a section of the game because the game is, there's a lot of variety to the game and it's big. So I
Even
mean, it's not just like
yeah,
it's not like a restaurant sim. It's not just an action adventure game. It's not just a somewhat of an RPG. I feel like there's some elements to an RPG in it with the weapon system, like collecting things and upgrading things, and um, but it's just big. It's as big as the ocean.
I'll say the ocean's pretty big. And that's one thing I was also surprised about as well, because I was expecting just from what I know about Dave the Diver, I didn't know there was an actual story in the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was more of a restaurant managing game, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Like a
Like go collect
oh
things and then work in your restaurant.
yeah, like an overcooked with a twist to it where you're collecting the
Mm-hmm.
food as well, kind of thing. But it is so much more than that. So much the story is actually really good.
Maybe
Um yeah.
for those that haven't played Dave the Diver,
Mhm.
for those that might not even know what Dave the Diver is, one,
Mhm.
shame on you,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
then two, give just like an idea of what the game is. Maybe like touch a little bit on the
Okay.
story, and because I mean, like you said, you thought that it was just like somewhat like a restaurant sim in a way, but it's definitely not just that.
Yeah, okay. So, for those that may have maybe missed our last episode or anything where we did talk about Dave the Diver, you played Dave, who's a diver. And yeah, I don't know, go figure. And there is a restaurant manager, I don't remember his name. He doesn't he is in the story, but he doesn't do a whole lot. And he owns this restaurant. As Dave, you go down, you dive into the ocean. You collect the fish, which you can do via you have a knife, and there's other items in the ocean you can find that do different things. Like you can find a toy hammer that puts fish to sleep instead of, having to cut them up while in the ocean.
Hmm.
Um, so there's little items you can get. You have a harpoon gun, which is going to be your main source of how to catch the fish, is the harpoon gun. And then you have like various weapons you can find as well, like actual guns. Like the one I carry around mostly is the sniper rifle because that's the one that does the most damage at the
Damage.
moment, and
Yeah.
that's what I use for the big fish like sharks and stuff because
Hmm.
those things are crazy.
Hmm.
So you go down, you get your fish, and then you come back up. There's a restaurant um, where you come up with the menu. So each fish has its own price, has its own taste rating. Um, and that's when there's a chef there that will chop up the fish himself, and you have to serve
Bancho.
Bancho, who is he is amazing, and the animations for him. I'm still finding new animations, Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
for when he does stuff, and it is
Yeah.
insane and it's incredibly detailed. I love the anime, like the little cutscenes that happen. I love them every time.
Uh, just going off the side here, the gunsmith anime,
Mm-hmm.
like the first time you see him, where uh, it's just it cracked me up. Just the little figurine at the end and
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's yeah. The animation is beautiful in the game, but yeah, I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, you come up with the menu yourself based on the fish you caught, and you have customers that will, as Dave, you will serve, and then that loop keeps going around and 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 around. But in the meantime, there's a whole story that you have to do. Um, there's also I don't know even how to describe the story because there's a lot that goes on because there are characters that come in that you have to serve, and then once you would serve them, that unlocks more portion of the story. Um, so the main story is that there's a mysterious giant squid. It's not I don't know how you know how to describe it, but that's like the start of the whole thing is the mysterious giant squid. And
Mm.
once you learn more about the squid, you find out about there's mermaids. Bum bum bum.
Who would have thought? Mermaids in the
And
ocean?
yeah. And so I haven't finished the story yet, and I'm not gonna spoil it at all
I'm gonna.
because I think you should just experience it because it is
Yeah,
hilarious and wonderfully done.
I will say the game takes over 20 hours to beat,
Okay. Okay. I think I'm
and
around hour I'd say 8 to 10 right now in that area.
it's 20 hours to beat, and I think you've got over 40 hours of additional, like not additional content, but total, all in all, like if you want 100% the game, 40
Wow.
hours.
That's
40 hours.
a good chunk of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Have you beaten it, Kyle?
No, no, I
Okay.
have not. I've spent my fair share of time with it, but um, I heard the other day
Hmm.
someone mentioned that they are snacking on games, and I've never heard that before. But they're I've
I
never
like
really
that.
heard that,
I
and
like
that
that.
is what I feel like that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. Like it's hard for me to sit down and just force myself through a game. And
Hmm.
forcing is a bad word. Play through a game.
No,
Um,
eat through an entree of a game.
exactly. Yes, and I hate it. I hate being in this
Hmm.
rut. So I have not finished Dave the Diver, and I have not finished other games. Uh, but I'm just continuing to snack through it. And it's not a game that I'm done with. I keep going back to it
Hmm.
and playing it, but yeah, I've not beat it.
So you know where I am in the story because I've been streaming it.
Mm-hmm.
Am I farther than you yet?
Um, I didn't watch your last stream.
Okay.
You weren't on the stream that I was watching
Okay.
previously.
I beat the second big boss fish.
You are.
I am farther than you.
Yes. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah. Yeah, without spoiling it, I believe
Yeah.
you are.
Okay.
Um,
Because I had a section that was very reminiscent of Zelda Ocarina of Time, where
mm,
you have the princess in Zelda, the where you're in the belly of the fish, you have to carry her around everywhere. I had a section just
it's
like
not
that in
ringing a
Dave.
bell.
Okay,
Okay.
I had a section
Yeah.
just like that in Dave's Diver.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
That's not ringing a bell.
okay.
So now I know what to look forward to.
So whether you love that section or not in Ocarina of Time, there was a section like that in
It's
Dave the
there.
Diver. Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard though. I think Zelda did it much more difficult, which I'm thankful because I did not feel like experiencing a difficult section like that in Dave the Diver.
Yeah. Yeah. It, the game is challenging in its own way.
Yes, yes.
But I never found myself being like, "Ugh." Maybe if you lose oxygen underwater, but even
That's
then
only
it's
happened to me twice so far
right.
in the
Usually that's
10
pretty much
hours.
on you. That determines on how greedy of a person you are. Like,
Yes.
okay, because you're paying attention to that kind of stuff.
Constantly. And I am glad the game gives you enough things in the ocean to like replenish your oxygen. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
find oxygen tanks. There are, which
Little
surprisingly,
buffs.
like huge clams that can give you oxygen for some
Right.
reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, little item, like little tiny
Well,
oxygen
little
tanks that
clams in underwater, don't they? Like whenever they, maybe not.
I
Maybe I'm just
I don't know. Like it's a
okay.
thing in the game. I'm taking it. I'm
Okay.
running with it. And by the way, the amount of like I love animals. Like you like animals too.
Hmm.
The amount of like
Well, I know you like animals.
thank you. Thank you. Inside joke, guys. But the amount of real fish that are in the game that I've just been like, oh, hey, that's a clownfish because I love clownfish.
Right.
They're my favorite fish
Yeah.
in the game. Like, oh, there's clownfish. And different fish appear because I'm now in the game. It takes place. I don't know if it starts you off in October every single time, but it started off me in October, which is it's October right now. And I'm towards the end of October in game. I guess it's end of October in real life too. But I haven't seen clownfish in a while, so I think depending on like the days and months, different fish appear and go away because there's fish I
Hmm.
haven't seen since the beginning of the game, like
That's
clownfish
interesting.
for
Yeah.
example. I haven't seen clownfish since the beginning of the game, but yeah, there's clownfish. There was
Think
real
you
fish in
killed
the
them off?
game.
You think you killed them off with your
Uh,
sushi making skills?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't hunted clownfish the way I've hunted the I call them the Dory fish. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're
Okay.
the fish that Dory is from
Yeah.
Finding
Yeah.
Nemo. I count those things like crazy, and they're still around.
Okay.
Plenty of them.
Maybe they're fertile fish.
Maybe, I don't know. And they have also one of my favorite fish in the game, the anglerfish. If you guys don't know what that is, a deep
Oh,
sea fish, which is the
there
little,
you
they
go.
got the little light on their heads.
Yep.
Yeah,
Those are the cool ones. They're like the alien fish.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the amount of
Uh,
fish there. Yeah, I'm very impressed.
the amount of just everything in the game, the amount of apps, the amount of fish, the amount of sushi recipes.
Yeah.
It's it's a wonderful game. And
But
it's the second wonderful sea game that we've gotten this year because Dredge was the first one.
Dredge, I forgot about Dredge, and
Yeah.
Dredge is because I was thinking, so it's ever since we talked last time, you said Day was up for Game of the Year for you, and I'm like, what else is there? And I think I have it down to 3 games right now, which Dave
Okay.
the Diver, now that I've experienced it, is on that list. Dredge is another, and Planet of Lana are probably my top 3 of the year right
Those are up
now.
there. And I haven't finished it. I'm hoping to finish it, not just snack on it, but Cocoon.
Yes, yes, Cocoon. I
Because
haven't finished that yet.
it's
I've started it.
I think when thinking about Game of the Year, I like to think of something that gives us a different experience. And
Hmm.
while I love Planet of Lana, I don't think that it has delivered a different experience. Feel like we've had that experience before. We've
Sure.
had it with Inside, we've had it with Limbo, we've had it with Inside, we've had it with Limbo. um, and what game was I just talking about?
Cocoon.
Cocoon is different.
Cocoon is different.
It's very different. You hop in different worlds,
Have you
and
beaten
it's
Planet
different.
of Lana?
Yes,
Okay. Just making sure
yeah,
because I love the
yes. Oh,
last
yeah.
third is probably some of my
I'm
favorite moments in gaming.
not saying that
Okay,
it's
okay.
a.
Like, oh, another
It's
Planet of Lana.
no. I'm not saying that at all because the game is incredible, but I guess in a way it is different. It is different than Inside Limbo in the fact that it's a different style, different setting. It's not dark.
Hmm.
It's not grim. Although there is some dark things in it. Uh, it's it's beautiful. The sound track is beautiful. It is a beautiful experience. But when you get down to like the gameplay itself,
Cocoon does have a
it
lot more going in it right now for
it's
that
different.
style. Yeah.
The first time you hop from one world to another, and you jump to the orbit. It's like, oh, this is different, and you do that throughout the game. At least from where I'm at, a couple hours into it, I think I've beat 3 bosses so far.
Yeah.
Um,
And that world hopping animation, it is burned in my memory in a good
right,
way.
right, and it's I don't know. I'm not. Cocoon doesn't make me feel like excited like other games have, but
Sure.
it is something fresh. It is. It is different. Just like Dave the Diver
Just like Dave the
is
Diver. I was about to say that's
is
why
fresh.
I'm loving Dave the Diver because it's it's fresh and fresh water. Hey.
Yes. Oh, hello.
But it has this certain je ne sais quoi to it. Just this certain mm, just mm. I don't know how to explain it other than it's just entertaining. It's good and it's funny. Like like I'm genuinely laughing at it. And I
Yeah.
feel like video games, as far as a medium is concerned, is the hardest to make people genuinely laugh.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. That's I can't think of a funny game that makes me laugh. And Dave the Diver does that. I mean, I'm
Dave
sure
the
they're
Diver
out
does
there,
that.
and if I sat
Yeah.
here and thought for 10 minutes, I probably could think of some stuff. But
One
just
immediately
off the
comes
top
to
of my
mind
head,
for me is Armed and Dangerous from LucasArts. Hilarious
okay.
game. The gameplay is terrible because it's just not good. But it's the game. The cutscenes are.
There's this old game that I played on PS2 called Citizens of Kabuto.
Why does that sound familiar?
I'm sure if I don't know. Yeah, it's really dumb. It's like British humor. It's
Okay.
funny. Yeah. Anyways, sidetrack on that one.
Yeah.
Dave the Diver.
I will get a rating once I finish it, but I will be playing it on stream regularly. So check it out at twitch.tv /KK Indie Gaming. And people have been showing up too. So come join the discussions where we just talk about mostly food and music and
Ooh,
all kinds of other stuff. People have been joining in. It's great.
we're gonna give 5 more minutes to Dave the Diver here. So here's an argument that was brought up on Twitch. You said California rolls are not sushi.
Yes, not sushi.
All right, fine. That's fine. Uh, I don't. If California rolls aren't sushi, then how are sushi rolls with imitation crab meat sushi? It's not real crab meat.
But it's trying to be. At least it has some
Well,
sort
but
of
that's like saying California rolls is
seafood.
trying to be sushi without meat.
So there are like I would accept it if it was like if it had something like seafood-ish in there.
Like seaweed?
No, no, more than that, more than that. Rather than just seaweed wrapped with rice and cream cheese. Like, come on now.
I'm
I
just
want
trying to watch my
something.
figure. I'm trying to watch my figure. That's why I'm eating rice.
um, I guess I give a pass to imitation crab because at least it's trying to like have something seafood in there. Whereas California rolls, it's just like I feel like it's a very American thing because to have something in there like, oh, I'm eating sushi without what makes it sushi. If there was something in there, gosh, I can't even think of anything right now. That would be, I don't
Bologna.
know. Ugh. I'm trying to think of a vegetarian way to make it sushi. So a vegetarian could,
Tofu?
what's that? Tofu. Yeah,
Tofu?
if there was tofu in there, I'd probably give that a pass for sure.
Okay.
Because
That's
that's
not all
like that.
fish.
That's like it's a meat alternative, really. That's from the Eastern world.
But I think like vegetarians eat. I don't, and I'm sorry if I get this wrong, vegetarians out there, but they eat. I believe they eat fish, don't they? I think there's like a meat that
Uh,
vegetarians, and I know vegans eat no dairy, no meat.
right.
But I felt
I
like something
think
with white meat.
I know you're on the right track, but I know I'm ignorant in this. I would have to get a vegetarian on to
Yeah.
let us know the difference and explain to me because I
Well, if
forget every
you're a
time.
vegetarian out there and you like games and you want to come talk to us, feel free and
Feel
educate
free.
us on the ways of the vegetarian, and we'll educate you on the ways of the water.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. I just
If it's
California
imitation, it's not real
like
sushi. I'm sorry.
if you eat California rolls and that's it, I'm not gonna blame you because I understand like you eat raw fish or fish in general. Not that's not fish in general is not everyone's cup of tea. But don't say you're eating sushi and you like sushi and California rolls is the only thing you eat.
What's your feelings on? on getting hard shell crabs and cracking the shell open and getting the meat out and eating the meat like a barbarian.
You know, it's funny. As I get older, the less I like it. When I
Because
was
of
a
the work
kid,
involved?
yes, because of the work involved.
Okay.
When I was
Not
a
because
kid,
of the barbaric ways of doing it.
no, nothing like, because I mean, don't get me wrong, like that, it tastes great. Like I love
Yeah.
doing that. I love the way it tastes, and plus, what's not, you're just dipping it. It's just straight melted butter. What's better than that?
Or vinegar.
Or vinegar, yeah.
I like doing it, yeah.
But the work involved, like the older I get, the less I like it.
I did it the other someone brought us from Maryland hard shell
Hmm.
crabs, a big box of them. And I
Hmm.
was cracking into them on the back porch and our neighbors came up and they had a look of what are you doing as I was eating them. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know, but they were delicious and I will eat them all day every day.
They are really
Yes.
good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking hard shell crab because they do taste wonderful. I just hate the work
It's just
involved.
the work that goes involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, man, this has been a nice side tangent.
Well, I mean, the whole game, David Diver, is about fish and
Fish.
sushi and all that stuff. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't think there's a way to make California rolls in Dave the Diver. Just saying.
Hold on.
Because there's a lot of things you can make in the game. Like they even have like a seaweed salad you can make in the game. But I don't think there's California rolls in there.
I don't see anything about California rolls. Hmm, okay. All right.
Oh.
Touche. Touche.
And the
Dave the
game
Diver.
does take a lot of liberty with the sushi because there's a ton of fish you would not eat in real life, but
Right. Like a shark head.
like
I'm
a
sure you
shark head.
probably. I mean, I'm sure it's been done. Maybe somewhere.
You know.
I'm sure someone's
Deep
done it.
fried shark head sushi. I've never seen it, but if it exists, let me know.
I'm sure some luxury sushi restaurant has got it. It's got to be. I can't just make this episode about me doing research on different sushis. Shark head sushi. Well, I mean, there's plates that have shark heads on it that aren't real shark heads. Anyways, all right.
All right. Anyway, we're going to
Yeah.
take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about crossovers. Hey, it's your boy Carrington back again with the second half of this wonderful episode with Kyle. Kyle, I got a question for you.
All right.
I feel like nowadays there's a lot of stuff happening in gaming, both in the AAA space and even the indie game space. And I wasn't sure how I felt about this, so I wanted to just make this a discussion with you. I feel like I'll say popular games have to have some sort of crossover event. And what I mean by crossover event, I'm not talking something like Smash Brothers back in the day where you have a company where they take all of their characters and put it in one game. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about legit crossovers, like the way Fortnite has like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Marvel,
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars, yeah, or where Call of Duty has crossovers now,
Spawn.
Overwatch, and even like indie titles like Brawlhalla, which is a collection of indie games, but they've even have like AAA characters in it, like Master Chief is in it now.
Rocket League too.
Rocket League, yeah, Rocket League's got crossovers. They
Mm-hmm.
just had a Batman event not that long ago.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts on having these games now having other IPs? That's what I'm looking for. Other IPs in their games. What do you think about? Because in the 90s and 2000s, this was almost unheard of outside of something like random, like Soul Calibur. You know.
Cancel all the games. We don't need this junk in our other games. I don't need Batman in Rocket League. I don't need this. Actually, I do. I need the Batmobile in Rocket League, and I
It's
love
pretty
it.
nice having the 90s animated Batmobile. It's pretty nice.
I think it's cool.
Hmm.
Of course, not every mashup is my cup of tea. But who
Mm-hmm.
cares? It doesn't mean that it affects anything that I play. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, I think it's cool, and I think it's a way for companies to draw in other people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you've never played Fortnite, but they're doing a Star Wars event on Fortnite. Maybe you love Star Wars, so you want to check it out, and then you come to find out that you do enjoy Fortnite. And I'll be honest, like, I don't think I really spent a whole lot of time playing Fortnite until once they got rid of Zero Build, but also when they
Mm-hmm.
introduced Dragon Ball Z to Fortnite. Like, I thought, okay, well, sweet, you can be Goku, you can do Kamehameha waves off of or in the air, and crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
It caught my attention. I love Rocket League, and when they had the Batmobile in Rocket League, it was kind of like, oh, sweet, this adds to my experience. And they also did like Fast and Furious. They had the Skyline, the R34 Skyline in Rocket League, and I had to get that as well. And
Had to get it.
while
Had to
it's
get it.
not like it's not game changing or change your performance, but it's fun to drive around as your as an iconic car
Mm-hmm.
in the game. So I'm for it. I love the idea of it. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it.
It
I
doesn't put a
when
bad
you
taste in your mouth, right? Is what you're saying?
no when you mentioned this earlier, I was thinking like, well, are companies selling out
Mm-hmm.
to from like their original purpose? But no, I don't think so. I think it just adds more character to the games, and given like those games they're free to play.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch is free to play, Rocket League's free to play, Fortnite's free to play. So you spend a little money here and there on different skins. It's worth it. It's
What if it's a game you have to pay for? Like, 'cause I know like some of the horror games that have come out recently. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like a Friday the 13th, I think has other IPs in it as well. I don't
I
know,
don't know.
but those games
Uh,
like that, you know what I mean? Like those where you have like a bad guy that where you
I
play, and then
think
there's other normal
it's a Dead by
people.
Daylight,
Maybe it's Dead by Daylight. Yeah, maybe that's
but
what I'm
I don't
thinking
know. I
of.
think that's free to play also. I
Is it?
think. I
I don't know.
think.
Well,
I
how's
don't.
this? Let's just change it, okay? Because
Okay.
you do have a point. All of those games are free to play. If you have to pay for a game, and then on top of that have to pay to experience the crossover event of some sort, would that
No, you
change your
shouldn't have to
feelings?
pay for it, but doesn't mean that you shouldn't. They shouldn't have a goal set for you to unlock it,
Mm-hmm.
like an achievement. So, um, I don't think that if you're paying full price for a game, you should have to pay for an additional skin. I think you maybe you could pay for it, but for those that have paid for the game, you should also have the ability to unlock it through playing it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I would agree with that. And also, if you do pay for it and there's a crossover event, it shouldn't be locked out to you in any way. Because let's say in Fortnite, for example, because it's the easiest one to point to, and the Dragon Ball Z event you brought up, you have to pay money for the skins. But if you're playing the game, the event itself, where you have all the Dragon Ball Z items that were
The
basically timed
Dragon Balls.
events. Yeah, like the Dragon
Yeah.
Balls and the Kamehameha wave and stuff like that. You don't have to pay for that to experience like that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Which
The
I think
actual
is nice.
abilities.
Yeah, the abilities and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to pay for that. That you can still get a taste of it. So if you're not a fan of say Dragon Ball Z, like for whatever reason, because you're not a '90s kid, because I feel like that's more of a '90s thing. I think I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I guess so. My buddy is introducing Dragon Ball Z to his kids. I don't know if he watched it either as a kid, which he and I are close in age, but his kids are like 10 or 11 maybe,
Okay.
and they're loving it. The
Good,
show's so
good.
good. It's
It's
still a good
it's it's
show.
still good, yeah. But yeah, I feel like if there's a gameplay aspect to it, it shouldn't be locked off to you at all. Because I think Fortnite does it best because there's just little thing like if during the Star Wars
Well,
event, there's lightsabers and force abilities. You know what I mean?
right,
They incorporate all that stuff into not just the skins but the gameplay itself. And
right.
Brawlhalla. I'm trying to think of how
I
Brawlhalla
haven't
does
played
it.
Brawlhalla in such
It's
a
free to
long
play.
time.
It's also free to play.
Yeah.
Also that game. And then Master Chief, I think he was free for a little bit, but
In
because
Brawlhalla?
they rotate the premium characters. If you don't pay for the game, they rotate the premium characters. So there's a chance, when Master Chief is free,
Hmm.
for like a week or something like that.
Well, I mean, they've got uh characters from Shovel Knight,
Mm-hmm.
Hellboy,
Did not know that one.
uh Adventure Time. Oh, they've got actual wrestlers in here too. The Rock, Asuka, The
Oh
Undertaker,
my gosh, they've really updated it. I haven't played it
uh
since the start of COVID. I think is the
The
last time I played
Walking
it.
Dead,
Wow,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
wow,
Lara Croft,
they've really expanded for an indie game.
Street Fighter,
How do they get these IPs?
Master Chief,
Yeah,
The Arbiter, Tekken.
they make sense for like some of those crossovers make sense too.
Snake Eyes, Shadow Storm. Who's Snake Eyes? Is Snake Eyes from?
From
Oh,
GI Joe, right?
oh, GI Joe. Yeah. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah. So, for an indie game to get that, that's really impressive.
That's very impressive.
And
Wow.
maybe, well, and it's no secret. I mean, Nintendo and Microsoft have I feel like a pretty good relationship
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah, they do for sure.
And
They do.
so to see, I mean, you got Rabbids and Mario
Yeah, that's
to
Ubisoft,
see
and
Master.
that was the most surprising
Well,
crossover I've
yeah,
ever seen. But that's an
yeah,
actual game, not like a
and it's an
events.
awesome game.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
Those two
Um,
games are really great. Yeah.
uh, I guess to see Master Chief in Brawlhalla is, I mean, that's believable and surprising that
Yeah.
Microsoft has let that happen.
I'm when I heard that I was shocked. And that's the only one I feel like that made the news cuz like all those IPs I had no idea were in Brawlhalla because I haven't seen them across my feed in any way of all my like indie stuff I follow, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know what Brawlhalla is on, other than I played on Switch.
It's on Switch and it's on PC, yeah, for sure. I don't know if it's on
Yeah,
anything else.
PS4 and Xbox One. Okay.
Oh, all right. I had no idea. But I know Master Chief is not locked just to like Xbox though. Like that's a thing you can
Across.
have.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good game. I mean,
Yeah,
I enjoyed playing it when I did. Honestly, we could stream that sometime.
we definitely could.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Crossovers.
yeah, I
I
don't
think
think
we're
it
in it.
diminishes the game, but we're in an age where that's just a thing that we're used to
That's
now.
exactly what I was about to say. Yeah,
Okay.
we're in an age where it's acceptable, and I hope that we see it happen more, and
Hmm.
I would like more crazy crossovers. Like, okay, other games and stuff is kind of cool, but give
Hmm.
us either give us like resurrected IPs, like bring uh what was the old Def Jam fighting game? Like give us
Oh
rappers and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Give us
Uh
crazy ideas.
yeah, give us some stuff that's like way outside the box, or like bring in like characters from Twisted Metal in, or
Hmm.
um, dude, could you imagine Twisted Metal in Fortnite, like
That would
driving
that
around
would work
in
actually
Sweet
too.
Tooth? Yeah, yeah.
Especially since Twisted Metal kind of has had a comeback with a TV show now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's possible that that could happen. Who knows?
Uh, w- I'm gonna make a prediction. We're gonna see it in 2024.
All right, make it happen. Manifest it, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
So what are your
Th-
thoughts of having like celebrities in games as a cameo? So for example, like Conan is in Death Stranding.
as himself.
I don't think he's as himself now.
Well, that's like saying Daryl's in, not Daryl. What's his name?
The guy who plays Daryl in The Office.
He's in Death Stranding also.
He is?
Cause like not Daryl
I
in the
didn't.
office. Um, Norman Reedus.
Oh, Norman Reedus. I guess you're right. I guess you're right because even
I
though
mean,
he's
that's
like one of
just
the main characters,
actors
he's just
playing
an actor.
characters in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I think of cameos, I think of like Conan's playing Conan O'Brien and Death Stranding,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
which is like a goofy guy that probably wouldn't make sense to be in that game.
Because I think he's just like a quick side thing, if I remember right. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Well, then what? Alana's in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, yeah. Also, as a very quick side thing.
I don't know. You like celebrities promoting games?
If they are fans of said game, I don't mind it.
Okay.
If they're there just to sell it, it just feels weird and awkward, comes off really
You have to give me a
awkward.
different example than Conan, because I don't think
Okay.
I've seen. I don't think I've seen that in the new Death Stranding.
No, in the past one, like I
I
think
have
it's just
no
his
idea.
voice. I don't think you actually see him. I'm pretty sure it's just his voice.
Okay.
So like,
Because if I saw him, because I've not played the game, but I
mhm,
believe it's from what I've seen, it's a very serious game.
yes, yes, it is.
If I saw Conan O'Brien in that, like as
Mhm,
himself,
mhm.
I think it would take me right out of the gaming experience.
Okay, how's this? How's this? This happened a long time ago. This is why I think sometimes celebrities as a promotion thing just comes off as weird as awkward. But if I remember right, I vaguely remember this. Jason Alexander promoting the GameCube.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You see what I mean?
Yeah,
But if it was something like Henry Cavill, who is a known,
gamer.
gamer, I'd be
Okay,
perfectly fine with that. You know
so
what I
you're
mean?
like, hey,
It feels natural.
you, Donald Trump, come promote the Xbox for.
I'd have
Like
been like,
that's
what?
weird.
That is very weird.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to me. Like it
Yeah.
just wouldn't.
Be a political figure in the Halo series for us.
Yeah, that wouldn't. It just wouldn't work. Whereas if it was, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
The
understand.
Rock has been in Fortnite, and that didn't bother me as much because he's in
And I think The
everything,
Rock probably plays. I don't think he's like an avid gamer, but I think
right?
he is aware of the gaming universe.
Right. If it makes sense, uh, I don't mind because that
Yeah,
person is, like I said,
that's a
Henry
different type of
Cavill.
crossover.
Yeah, it is. It really
Yeah.
is. But like I said, I guess it all depends. Like Conan, Conan doesn't bother me at all.
No, well, I mean, he even has a segment on his show about dedicated to video games.
Hmm. And he
He's not
makes it
good
known
at
that
them.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he makes it known he's
Yeah.
not good at them. He doesn't really play them in his spare time, but they make for great bits. And I think he's funny and hilarious. And at least he's not. He's open to it. Like he has an open mind about things.
Right.
Even though he's a
Like
comedian, he's gonna make his jokes and stuff, and that still
if
doesn't bother me.
if he had a Twitch channel, it would be off the chain.
Hmm. I would 100% watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, crossovers, celebrities, all that stuff. It doesn't really bother me as much. Like I said,
Does it bother you, listeners? You
yeah. Let us
viewers? Are
know.
you ashamed of the crossovers that have happened in future years of life in video games in this generation? And yeah, does it bother you? Does it bother you
Does
more than California rolls being sushi?
yes, that's a good. I like that. Well, Kyle, it's been great. It's been fun.
It's been real.
It's been real. Check us on all our socials. We should really do this at the beginning of the show, but check us out on all our
Yeah, no,
socials.
yeah. I'll cut
KK
this
Indie.
out, stamp it on the front.
There you go. There you go. That's what editing's for. That's what the post editing stuff is for. But yeah, check us out on our socials, KK Indie Gaming everywhere, whether it be Twitter. I'm gonna call it Twitter.
X.
X,
X.
formerly known as Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all that lovely stuff. KK Indie Gaming. Um, Definitely check us out on Twitch because I am streaming Dave the Diver currently. And, whenever we can, we will do co-op streams and see where those lead us. We don't have plans to do a co-op stream anytime soon, I don't think, though.
Family's out of town tomorrow, which this might not be out by tomorrow, but yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. If you're listening,
Yeah.
You've already missed it, so too bad for you.
Too bad.
And you guys have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever.
Goodbye. That's
Bye.
not how this is gonna end. That's not how it's gonna end. Did you
How's it
end it
gonna
that
end?
way?
How's it gonna
Did you
end?
end it?
I haven't stopped recording yet.
Have a rad day.
Have a rad day.